What do you know about the number 75? Did you know that the number 75 can be written 17 different Arabic Indian numerals and symbols? No? Or that 113 is 75 in the octal system? Or that the tangent of 75 is equal to this scary number? Or what answer does this example have? Yeah. You are right, 75. This is the age which comes Susu. And today Susu celebrates its 75th anniversary. The Department of Foreign Languages and their students congratulate Susu on happy birthday. And in honor of this we suggest you to learn a little more about Susu and its history. Let's get started. The whole story of the Susu is divided into 5 stages, which we will briefly try to tell you about. 1943 is the year of the university's establishment. On November 2, 1943, the Council of People's Commissars of the USSR adopted decree on the establishment of the Chelyabinsk Mechanical and Engineering Institute, CMI. The first director of the new educational institution was Petr Alexievich Grishin, Ph.D. in technical sciences. He had to solve the problems associated with the establishment of a new university. From 1944 to 1947, Nikolai Leonidovich Dukhov, Doctor of Technical Sciences, Chief Engineer of Armored Vehicles, Nuclear and Thermonuclear Weapons, 3 times Hero of Socialist Labor. Dukhov was appointed as a head of Tank Construction Department and a head of the State Examination Commission of CMI. Mikhail Fedorovich Baltsy, a close companion and successor of N.L. Dukhov. During his management at the Department of Armored Fighting Vehicles, the well-equipped educational and scientific facilities were established. He formed a team of highly qualified teachers as well. Since 1965, Mikhail Fedorovich, Doctor of Technical Sciences, Professor. Until 1970 he was the Dean of the Automotive Engineering Faculty. An important role in the establishment of the university was played by the Deputy Director for Scientific and Educational Work Avram Nikimovich Rabinovich, Professor, Doctor of Technical Sciences, the founder of the science of computer-aided manufacturing and machine building. He wrote more than 300 scientific works, 40 monographs and textbooks. Another outstanding personality, standing at the roots of the establishment of the university, Eos Yakovlevich Kotin, Doctor of Technical Sciences, a designer of tanks and tractors. In 1943 Kotin supported the idea of creating an institute, became a member of the Academic Council, mastered graduation papers for students of the CMI. How the university looked like in the first years of its existence. In 1943 to 1944 the institute was located in different parts of the city, in the building of school number 4 near the railway station, in one of the schools of Traktora-Zavitsky district. Later, the institute was located in a 3-story building of the store along Spartak Street where the Detsky Mir store is located. In 1945 the institute received a new building on Timurazov Street, today, Lyceum number 11. But this did not solve the problem of lack of training areas. In April 1944, at a meeting of the Bureau of the Chelyabinsk Regional Committee, it was established that the work on the development of the new university was unsatisfactory. The institute was at a risk of closure. What to say, at the beginning students literally had nothing to sit on and nowhere to live. There were no dormitories. Initially, there were only 2 faculties in the institute, Mechanics and Technology, Armored Fighting Vehicles. From September 28, 1948 to April 1951, Mitrofan Markianovich Balik, Ph.D., an assistant professor of the Aircraft Production Department of the Moscow Aviation Institute, directed to Chelyabinsk by the order of the Minister of Higher Education, performed the duties of the CMI director. On his initiative, there had been carried out the overhaul works of educational building and dormitories. On April 26, 1949 the USSR Council of Ministers issued a decree on the establishment of Chelyabinsk Polytechnic Institute, CPI, in 1951 at the premises of CMI by merging it with the Chelyabinsk Institute of Mechanization and Electrification of Agriculture, SEMIA. From 1951 to 1962 the institute was headed by Alexei Yakovlevich Psychev, candidate of economic sciences. Prior to his appointment as rector of the CPI he was a dean of engineering and economical faculty of the Ural Polytechnic Institute. New faculties were added to the two existing faculties: Power Engineering Faculty, September 1, 1951, Metallurgical Faculty, February 7, 1952, Civil Engineering Faculty, September 1, 1951. In 1992 was renamed an Architecture and Construction Faculty. In 1952, a year after the first reorganization of the university, it was possible to talk about impressive results. CPI had established a strong business and scientific contacts with the leading industrial enterprises of the Chelyabinsk and Sverdlovsk regions. The university has expanded the scientific research, strengthened material technical base and personnel potential. In 1955 a sports club was created. The Russian Military and Sport Technical Society, DUSOF, had been acting at the institute. Later there would be built the sports palace, hockey pitch, athletics arena. Mass sports activities would start in Pine Forest. Track and field marathons became a tradition for the university. In 1956 to 1957 the first Spartakiad in history of the institute on 8 sports was held. On December 6, 1956, the first issue of the students' newspaper of the Polytechnic Specialists newspaper was published. Today it is a well-known and regularly published newspaper Technopolis. Its first editor was the candidate of historical sciences, member of the Union of Journalists of the USSR Sergei Vladimirovich Chelinsky. The newspaper team has become repeatedly the winner of all union competitions and festivals. Newspaper editorial office managed the Department of Journalism and Photography of Social Professions faculty, held review competitions of wall posters, professional analysis of the issues. So far the publications of Technopolis become winners of various journalistic competitions. In 1957, the Mechanics and Instrumentation Engineering faculties were opened. In 1958 the part-time department was reorganized into an independent part-time faculty. In August 1962 the CPI's rector changed. Until 1985 Vitaly Vasilyevich Melnikov was a head of the institute, who previously worked as the dean of radio engineering faculty of Ural Polytechnic Institute. In 1962, the assembly hall for 1,100 seats was opened. In 1965 construction of CPI's second building was completed and dormitory number 6 was commissioned. The first student festival, CPI Spring, was held in May 1968, which became traditional and was held annually under the name Susu Spring. Today the festival had become international, gathering the best students bands of the country and abroad. In 1975, on the basis of CPI was formed the Inter-University Computer Center. In February of the same year, the Council of Veterans of War and Labor was organized. The Faculty of Pedagogical Qualification of Teachers was opened. At that time, the tradition of students' initiation ceremony in the square in front of the main building of the university was also established. Then yesterday's applicants were given the key of knowledge, their first ever student card and a warm message. Since 1985, in connection with implementation of the perestroika reforms, began a new stage in life of the country. This could not help affecting on the institute, but the university easily overcame these times of change due to organizational talent and vision of CPI new rector German Platonovich Vyatkin, who had led the university for 20 years. German Platonovich Vyatkin, Professor, corresponding member of RAS, member of International Academy of Higher School, member of the Presidium of the Ural branch of RAS, Vice President of the Union of Rectors of Higher Educational Institutions of the Russian Federation, Chairman of Rectors' Council in the Chelyabinsk region, member of the Interdepartmental Committee on Scientific and Technology Policy under the government of the Russian Federation. He is a person of progressive views in which the university has acquired a new face and came to a new stage of development. October 31, 1990. By the order of the State Committee of the USSR for Public Education, the Chelyabinsk Polytechnic Institute was renamed as the Chelyabinsk State Technical University, CSTU. Prior to the perestroika, the Ministry of Education provided substantial financial support to that part of the higher school that trained specialists for the defense complex. But with the beginning of Gorbachev's reforms, the structure of the economy began to change dramatically. There was a need for humanitarian specialists, financiers, accountants, economists, lawyers, linguists, historians, psychologists. The transformation of the CPI into a state university, developing in accordance with the modern concept of technical education, gave a rise to the organization of new faculties and areas for training of specialists. The renovated university had to face the following tasks: to form a universal structure and respond to any requests of the educational and labor market, to become a major economic unit, to become a powerful scientific center, a generator of new ideas and technologies. April 13, 1992, the Faculty of Economics and Management was established. Professor Alexander Kuzmich Tashchev, Doctor of Economics, was the first dean. In the same year, 1992, the International Faculty appeared, headed by the Dean of the Doctor of Economics, Professor Vladimir Petrovich Gorshinin. In 1992, the Faculty for the Upgrading of Qualifications of Managers and Specialists, established in 1987, was renamed as the Faculty of Economics and Entrepreneurship. Professor, Doctor of Economics, V.A. Kyseleva was appointed as the Dean of the Faculty. In 1994, another renaming, the faculty was named Economics and Law. But in 2003 the faculty had been returned its old name, Economics and Entrepreneurship. 1992, the Civil Engineering Faculty, founded February 2, 1952, was renamed as the Architectural and Construction Faculty. The Dean of the Faculty, since 1986, Vladimir V. Vasilievich Spasibosko, Cantech SC. Professor. In 1993, the Social and Humanitarian Faculty was opened, the Dean of which became the Doctor of Historical Sciences, Professor, Head of the History of CPSU Department, Maya Nikolaevna Evlenova. Since 1998, Doctor of Historical Sciences, Professor, Head of History Department, Viktor Balakin became the Dean of the Faculty. July 1, 1995. The Military Department, which had existed since 1944, had been transformed into the Military Training Faculty. In 1996, the Faculty of Psychology was the first established faculty in the history of education in the Southern Urals. The Dean, Doctor of Pedagogical Sciences, Professor N.A. Baturin. 1997, the opening of the Educational and Sports Complex. June 10, 1997 was the first meeting of the Commission for the Construction of the Main Building of the University. In the 50s a project had already been developed, according to which the building of the Chelyabinsk Institute would repeat the design of the Moscow State University. But the construction was stopped by Nikita Khrushchev, who considered such project as architectural extravagance. After several decades, Herman Platonovich Vyatkin, being the rector of the university, found an old photo of the project in the newspaper and decided to implement this idea. So the construction of the main building began. For the next 4 years 2 more floors, a tower and a spire were being built. Today Susu takes the second place in the list of the highest buildings in Chelyabinsk. It has a roof height of 86 meters. By the order of the Ministry of General and Professional Education of the Russian Federation, November 18, 1997, CSTU was renamed as the South Ural State University. Susu. Tamara Nikolaevna Komutova, Doctor of Sciences, Philology, Professor, founded the Faculty of Linguistics in 1998. The director of the Institute of Linguistics and International Communications is Elena Nikolaevna Yaroslavova, Ph.D., Associate Professor. The Institute of Linguistics and International Communications accumulates the latest achievements of theoretical and applied science in the field of linguistics, philology, international relations, management, history and archaeology. Over the past 20 years preceding the establishing of the Institute, more than 2,000 specialists, bachelor and master degree students in the fields of linguistics and translation, theory and methods of teaching foreign languages, applied linguistics and philology, foreign regional studies and international relations have graduated from the departments. To hold lectures and practical classes, the Institute of Linguistics and International Communication provides rooms with multimedia equipment and access to Internet. Foreign languages are taught in specialized rooms and language laboratories with state-of-the-art software systems. There is also a room of simultaneous interpreting. The Education and Training Centers, as well as the SUSU Research Library, offer the most recently published educational, methodical and scientific literature. The Institute is aimed at increasing competitive advantages of graduates due to internationalization of training. You must be a little tired of the history of the SUSU? Let's digress a bit and I'll tell you about the brand of the SUSU. SUSU is a smart university which unites Europe and Asia nowadays. This is the way the university's motto sounds. Today, students of more than 100 nationalities from 48 world's countries are studying at the largest Russian university. The university, in the frameworks of the strategy for entering the world's educational space, is performing the task of vast cultural interaction and mutual exchange between Eastern and Western nations. An important advantage of SUSU is its geographic position. The southern Ural is located at the intersection of two parts of the world, Europe and Asia. And as you know today, the tendency to developing new connections between countries of different civilizations and social and economic systems of Europe and Asia is the leading trend of internal and foreign policy of Russia. These key circumstances became the basis of the new corporate brand mark of the university. The new logo preserves continuity of the best university's traditions. At the same time, it reflects the new development path of SUSU. Leading position of the university, it's striving to take dominant positions in educational, scientific and innovative activity are reflected on the logo in the form of mythical creatures, a griffin and a lion, which symbolize Europe and Asia. Let's study the logo of SUSU. Griffin Europe, a symbol of speed, strength, courage, interdisciplinary knowledge of the world. The main building of the university. 1943 is, as you already know, the date of the foundation of the university. Leo Asia, a symbol of wisdom, justice, patronage, good and enlightenment. Shield with the letter U. University. U Union. U Ural. The logo of SUSU is a demonstration of commitment to traditions, respect to the history and culture of European and Asian nations. This is the university's aspiration to create a common Eurasian future which would be based on the priority of scientific knowledge, respect to personality, and belief in creative powers. Such future should be formed in the present. Also, the SUSU has its own flag. White color according to the International Armory System symbolizes harmony and purity, nobleness and openness, truthfulness and peacefulness, cross-national and cross-cultural mutual respect that indicates qualities each and every human being should strive to. Blue color is a symbol of motivation to perfect one's knowledge, interdisciplinary scientific achievements and culture. This is the color of freedom, progress and unity, harmony and faithfulness to cultural traditions. And now let's go back to the history of SUSU. A new stage of the university development begins in 2005, due to the change of the university leadership. German Platonovich Vyatkin becomes the SUSU president. Alexander Leonidovich Shestakov becomes the SUSU rector. A new stage in the development of the university begins with the opening of new faculties and departments. May 28, 2002, Faculty of Architecture, June 25, 2003, Faculty of Law, October 15, 2003, Faculty of Physics, October 15, 2003, Faculty of Mechanics and Mathematics, on October 23, 2002, Institute of Open and Distance Education was established at SUSU, on August 17, 2004, Institute of Supplementary Education. October 2, 2006, Faculty of History, October 2, 2006, Faculty of Journalism, October 2, 2007. Faculty of Chemistry, 2009. Faculty of Food Technologies, January 31, 2011. Faculty of Computational Mathematics and Informatics, May 5, 2011. Faculty of Law Enforcement Preparation, February 11, 2010. Institute for International Education, February 27, 2013. Institute of Sports, Tourism and Service, February 27, 2013. Institute of Economics, Trade and Technology. 2006, the Regional Center for Student Employment Promotion was established. In 1999, the university opened an independent structural unit, the Arts Center. Nowadays, dozens of artistic groups function at SUSU, including Mannequin Theater Studio, Ballroom Dance Ensemble, Primavera Choir, Deep Vision Dance Group, Folkton Music Theater, and others. In 2010, Institute for International Education was established in SUSU. The key training areas at the Institute for International Education are: education in Russian and English for 1.5 to 2 years allows master's students to study 1 or 2 semesters at Clark University, to complete their professional internship there. Academic mobility programs on student exchange are being implemented. Exchange programs allow SUSU students to attend part of the course abroad in a partner university in many countries of Europe, China, the United States. Together with the Lappeenranta University of Technology, Finland, SUSU implements joint educational programs for the preparation of masters in innovative energy technologies. Summer language schools are organized in France, Czech Republic, Germany, China, Slovakia, Finland. Year by year, more and more foreign students from Vietnam, Germany, Iran, Yemen, China, Mongolia, Turkey, Sri Lanka, Ecuador, as well as from the CIS countries, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Ukraine come to study at SUSU. Students from more than 20 countries study at SUSU. On the basis of the educational materials of the Institute, in the framework of the national project education have been established the research production complex, the Russian education industry. Each year, 30 to 40 samples of innovative products are created here that can compete on the global educational market of intellectual labor. In 2013, SUSU developed the following innovative samples: simulator crane operator, simulator excavator operator, simulator aircraft pilot, simulator hot rolling mill operator, simulator automated gas boiler house, simulator heat and gas dynamics of the launch complex of proton rockets, simulator automated pasta factory, laboratory complex digital substation, and others. In April 2010, SUSU became one of 15 universities in Russia, which were awarded the status of National Research University. From this moment, a new period in SUSU development has begun in more severe competition conditions of rankings, globalization, market relations in the sphere of intellectual services. In the framework of the National Research University, new research and educational centers and laboratories were established at SUSU: REC Composite Materials and Structures, SEC Experimental Mechanics, Laboratory of Physical Modeling of Thermomechanical Processes. These are the largest, key centers. In total, there are 40 research and educational centers and laboratories at SUSU. The university priority development fields were identified: 1. Energy saving in the social sphere, 2. Rational use of resources and energy in metallurgy, 3. Energy and resource efficient technologies in diesel engine manufacturing for armored and engineering vehicles, 4. Resource efficient technologies for the development and operation of sea-launched ballistic missile complexes, 5. Supercomputer and grid technologies for solving energy and resource-saving problems. At the current stage of the university development, the existing buildings are renewed and new academic buildings and scientific laboratories are established of the university. Buildings for faculties of chemistry, physics, and law, as well as the faculty of food technology are constructed. New building for Susu Publishing Center. Sigma University Complex. In February 2013, Institute of Sports, Tourism and Service was established, which included the Faculty of Physical Culture and Sports, the Faculty of Service and Tourism, and the Sports and Training Center. Today Susu is a universal university. It is a multidisciplinary and widely oriented university. Susu meets the challenges of time educating highly demanded specialists and expanding international relations. Susu University is future-oriented in its choice of development strategies. Susu focuses on education, research and innovation, but also promotes patriotism and spiritual development. Today the university sets the following tasks. 1. To promote the development of research and education centers, laboratories and scientific schools at Susu. To solve research problems in the real sector of economy and industry. 2. To raise the international level of the university development and take the leading position in the academic and scientific world. In October 2015, the South Ural State University was included into the number of higher educational institutions of Russia, selected to participate in Project 5 to 100, which is to maximize the competitive position of a group of leading Russian universities on the global market for educational services and research programs. The strategic goal of Susu in the Project 5 to 100 involves getting a place in the top 100 for main international rankings, the ORQS, as well as in subject rankings in computer science, aerospace engineering and materials science. Achievement of intended result is detailed with following strategic goals of the second level in 3 areas. Education. To become a world leader in supercomputing and aerospace engineering. To integrate students and teachers into international educational process by significantly increasing their international mobility. Science. To bring scientific activities of the university on a global level in relation to effectiveness of research. To achieve world-level breakthroughs on directions of scientific research. Management, financing and infrastructure. To become commercially successful, internationally recognized innovative leader. To diversify funding sources of the university. To increase the level of internal operating efficiency to the level of the world's leading universities. To create well-maintained campus that meets world standards. To increase the quality of service functions of the university for students and staff to international standards. In 2016, the university began implementing the roadmap tasks, maximizing the university competitiveness in global educational space. As a result, 10 schools and institutes were formed in Susu: Institute of Architecture and Construction, School of Medical Biology, School of Economics and Management, School of Electronics and Computer Science, Institute of Linguistics and International Communication, Institute of Social Sciences and Humanities, Institute of Natural Sciences, Institute of Sport, Tourism and Service, Polytechnic Institute, Institute of Law. A lot of attention in 2016 was paid to implementation of project management system, which is designed to increase staff efficiency and project's effectiveness. For this, Susu authorities had formed a clear criteria for evaluating effectiveness of projects and employees' recognition, the system of KPI. 14 groups of elite training have been created in Susu for more effective training of students with high results in studies. Talented students get an opportunity for deeply studying of fundamental and related disciplines and taking part in interdisciplinary scientific research. Such purposeful work to improve the quality of education allows the university to provide the economy of the region with small innovative enterprises, modern engineering solutions and highly qualified specialists.